Hello, my name is Jennifer Yates. I'm going to be doing a video over the story of you. So, I was born in Mineral, Texas, but raised in Garner, Texas, a small rural town. Only had school kindergarten through eighth grade. I had to go to a neighboring town for high school. Had three churches and one gas station. Other than that, it's just a bunch of farmland and homes. Not much going on. A lot of horse ranches because it's located in Parker County, which is the cutting horse capital of the world. So, other than that, not much going on. I'm a middle child, both with my biological parents, children, and my bonus dad and his kids. Both ways, I am the middle child. My parents married and divorced twice. Not many people can say that or have that happen in their life. The last time they were divorced, I was leaving fifth grade, about going to sixth grade the next year. For 3 years, my mom raised me, my brother, and sister on her own. My dad did little help. And then my mom met my bonus dad in the eighth grade. I call him my bonus dad because, or even my dad really, because he's been such a blessing to our family. And I don't know what we would have done without him. He's definitely a godsend. Growing up as a young child, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. I rarely went to daycares or had babysitters. I was either with my real dad's uh, parents or my mom's parents. So, um, always with family. My grandparents played a huge part in my upbringing. They have taught me so many things, and I'm so thankful. Um, when my mom was taking care of us for those 3 years, and my dad wasn't really helping due to, personal family dynamic issues or whatever. We didn't have a lot, but that was okay. But there was a lot of love. I never felt like I didn't have enough as a child. Even when my parents were together, they weren't rich. We weren't rich by any means. We just lived. I was very fortunate to be raised on a farm, have livestock around all the time, acres to go wander, go karts to ride, tractors to ride, farm trucks to go drive around in the pasture. And I was even doing this like as a small child, right? So I was very fortunate. We had a well, they gave us water, so we didn't have to worry about our water being shut off. Um, Whatever my parents couldn't provide, we were fortunate enough that their parents were willing to help. And so we never, as small children, um, even though, we didn't have a big fancy home or drive the nicest vehicles and all that, we were still very blessed and fortunate. In society's terms, you would probably say that I'm privileged, right? I'm a white female in America, um, coming from a not so low social economic class, but not so high either, right? It's kind of try to do in my life that social mobility that was talked about in assessment 5, climb that social ladder to make sure that me and my family don't have to struggle and live in the same space in society as I did growing up. I've been a nurse now for 4 years. I'm currently in school to get my bachelor's degree. And in this paper, I'll be covering social concept roles, values, and culture. And I will explain how all of these social concepts have impacted my life. We'll start off with roles. So, sociological concept of roles is how people are supposed to act in various social roles, right? So, a southern white female from a small rural town, you would think that she act a certain way. Well, uh, being independent, yes, I am independent and very strong-willed and a go-getter. I'll work hard or as long as anybody, but um, I am have a partner. We've been together for almost 10 years now, And so how people would normally view me in my role of what I'm supposed to be in society is not necessarily the norm, right? Um, but I do play a significant role in society as a nurse, so I'll go over that. Um, I take care of my patients. I provide them safe, effective care, and I make sure that I'm collaborating with other interdisciplinary teams to ensure that our patients are getting the treatment that they need. And I treat all my patients just like if I was taking care of my mom or my grandma or one of my grandparents. Um, I believe that is very important to um, whatever you are doing in life, do your role. With your whole heart, right? You want to make sure that you're doing your job effectively um, and not cutting any corners. Another sociological concept I used was values. Values can be defined as beliefs that are important to society and the individual. So, coming from a small rural town, values are pretty important to me. Some people can say, "Oh, well, you're a lesbian, so you don't have any values or morals because you chose that lifestyle or whatever. You don't believe in God." But I still believe in God. I still have values. I still have morals. Just because I prefer, different than other people doesn't mean that I don't hold values. I value honesty, mutual respect, and integrity. I've been taught from an early age to tell the truth, respect those around me, and to make sure that I'm doing what's right even when no one's looking. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. I try to own my mistakes. But I always try to live each day with integrity, making sure that I'm doing what's right even when no one's looking. My grandparents and parents' generation also believed in those values, and they were, passed down to me. Um, Want to make sure at work, documentation is important when you're taking care of a patient, but so many times I see that people chart or document that they've done something to patient care and they haven't done it. To me, that's not having integrity and just covering yourself, but you should really be providing that care. Um, Another thing is just respecting others and knowing how to have boundaries and respecting people in their cultures and their way of life is important. Um, and that leads us to culture, right? So culture is a big thing to me. Um, I'm surrounded by so much culture. Some people might laugh, you know, again, small southern girl from a small town, and then I'm in a relationship with a lady from Africa. In Africa, they have their own culture, and our cultures are just like polar opposite, but somehow we've formed a bond. So being accepting of her culture and her being accepting of my culture, and we're able to blend and live and respect each other. Often, I didn't move to like the big city until I was in my early 20s. And growing up, there wasn't much culture other than what I saw within, my small little town. There wasn't a mixed races. I mean, one Hispanic friend I had growing up, and she didn't even come to my school until like the fourth grade. There was no African American people in my town, in my school. I wasn't exposed to any of that, and not it. They just weren't there. So, but I moved to the Metroplex, got a job in a hospital, and I mean, I was just hit with all these different cultures. People from Africa, India, you know, been living in the city and all these things, right? So, was I culture shocked? Maybe, but I just embraced it all. Like, um, I I just sit back and kind of watch how people react and interact with different things, and I'm very friendly and outgoing, so I'll just talk to anybody and get to know them. And I think that's what has helped me be who I am and where I am at today in life. So, yeah, I grew up a certain way and had a certain culture, but I've embraced other cultures around me, and I've learned so many things by doing that. Not having a narrow mind, being able to be open to others, their opinions, their way of life, and it's been really helpful for me. Um, when it comes to collaborating, obviously as a nurse, we collaborate all day long on our shift, whether it be with our patients, our coworkers, our with the providers, other interdisciplinary teams throughout the hospital, to make sure that we're providing our patients with safe and optimal care. Right. So collaboration, I collaborate all the time. Um, that's one of the things that I say I know how to do. Um, so, but not only at work, in your personal life, in your home life, with your friends, everybody needs to be able to collaborate, even with strangers you meet out in the public. Need to know how to communicate and talk and collaborate without getting so angry or only thinking your way is the right way, right? Because there's so many ways to peel a potato or an onion. That's just how I say it. So, um, to me, learning to collaborate and using positive communication really helps. Uh, the sociological research, I would just like to know how many successful African and Caucasian same sex couples are thriving in society and are able to cohabitate based off of coming from different backgrounds. I think it would be neat. We don't have many friends, of course, because uh, I mean, we have friends, but we don't have many friends who live the same lifestyle as us. We have heterosexual friends, gay friends, but none of them are the same like cultural makeup as her and I's relationship, right? So it will be interesting to see that. Um, and one way to do that would be put out a survey, in some heavily populated LGBTQIA plus communities and ask if anyone, is similar and if they're thriving and doing well in society. Because I think that makes not that, they have to have certain jobs or do certain things, but they're not homeless. Not saying that homeless people are bad, but that they're able to, live, go to work, do things and stuff like that and enjoy life. I would just like to know about that. Um, to wrap this up, as you can tell, I'm a very complex individual. I've had many experiences throughout my life. Um, but one thing is I take pride in where I come from, and I don't like for society to like put me in a box, right? Um, I can do so many things. Yeah, I'm a nurse, but I like to landscape. I like to do odd and end DIY stuff in the house. Um, there's just so many things I like to do, and I feel like that when society puts us in a box or that we can only have specific roles, or just because you come from somewhere that's how you have to be, that's not right. That's not how people grow and develop in life, right? I like helping others, and I feel like my values and my culture make me who I am, like my roots, and having a good heart and being able to contribute to society is what makes me who I am. If you have any questions, please let me know. And thank you for your time.